Hey, this is Richard. I wanted to let you in on one of the best kept hotel secrets in Rome, the Annex Apartments at Villa Spalletti Trivelli. Now, the villa itself is no secret. It's long been highly regarded, and as recently as 2022, it landed on Condé Nast's list of the best hotels in Rome. What Condé Nast failed to mention, though, are the Annex Apartments located in a building adjacent to the villa. I recently spent 5 nights there, and here's my report. First, some quick background. Villa Spalletti Trivelli was built at the end of the 19th century for the Countess Gabriella Rasponi, widower of Italian Senator Venceslao Spalletti Trivelli. The Countess made the villa a center of Rome's political and cultural life. It remained in the family after her death and was converted into a hotel in 2004. It's located at the northern edge of Rome's Monte neighborhood, just below the presidential palace on Quirinal Hill, the highest of Rome's 7 hills. It's unusual among Rome's top hotels because it's family-owned and only has 15 rooms and suites. The villa houses the lobby, restaurant, and spa, along with a variety of rooms ranging from small doubles to deluxe suites. The ground floor features several stately rooms, including a library and a bar where you can make your own Aperol spritzes and Negronis. There's a spa and gym in the basement and 2 jacuzzis on the rooftop. I had initially wanted to stay in the villa. Unfortunately, it was booked for my desired dates. That's when I found out about the Annex Apartments, rentable spaces in an even older building just across the garden from the villa, that's also owned by the Spalletti Trivelli family. The Viminale Apartment is a little over 950 square feet, or 90 square meters if you prefer. I booked the Viminale Apartment for 5 nights in late April and early May. The daily rate ranged from 650 to 780 euros, for an average of 724 euros per night. The 30% deposit due at the time of booking is refundable up to 15 days before your stay. The apartment is on the 3rd floor of the building. It has 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, a full kitchen, and a washing machine. It's a high-ceilinged space decorated with artwork and lots of knickknacks. The primary bedroom at the end of the hall has a comfortable king-sized bed. The master bath is spacious with a pretty deep and narrow tub and a rain shower. The second bedroom has a small bed suitable for 1 person and a compact bathroom. There's no tub, just a shower with no shelves in it, so you have to put your shampoo and other items on the floor. Both bathrooms had plenty of towels. Housekeeping came by every day. We usually called the front desk and scheduled a time for housekeeping so they could work while we were out of the apartment. I stumbled upon them once and was surprised to find it was a team of 3 people, so I think they work pretty fast. The small washing machine is easy to use. It takes about 45 minutes to run a load. There is no dryer, however, so you'll have to either air dry your clothes or bring them to a laundromat. Upon our request, a valet brought up a couple of drying racks for us. The racks helped, but it still took a good 2 days for everything to dry. The kitchen is well stocked and there are markets nearby where you can get provisions. The full-size fridge has beer, juice, and soda, all free of charge. There were even small bottles of liquor on the fridge door, with enough gin, sweet vermouth, and amaro to make a week's worth of Negronis. A remote control governs heating and cooling. You set it to heat or cool, select a temperature, and the system turns off and on as needed. It takes a little trial and error to get the right temperature. You can also open the windows. There are no screens, so bugs might fly in. The windows also have wooden shutters that can be closed to keep the light out at night. Besides the Annex Apartments, the building is home to Spalletti Trivelli family members and a few long-term tenants. There's definitely someone living above the Viminale Apartment. I could hear their footfalls, though not in the bedroom. It's important to note that there is no elevator in the building, so if you have mobility issues, the Annex Apartments might not work for you. The stairs were not a problem for my wife and I. The valet took our bags up when we checked in and brought them down when we left. There's a doorman on duty during the week who'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. Though located in a separate building, the Annex apartments have access to all the amenities of the hotel, including the free breakfast buffet and the spa. The only amenity not available is room service. The villa entrance is very close, about a 30-second walk. The free breakfast is served in a room just off the lobby. It runs till 11 and is quite expansive. There are scrambled eggs, guanciale, sausage, a variety of juices like carrot, orange, apricot, and pineapple that were all terrific. There's self-serve coffee in a pot. You can also order lattes, cappuccinos, etc. from the server. As is common in Italy, there are lots of sweets for breakfast, like orange cake, chocolate torte, and apricot tart. There's also a small menu of food items you can order from the kitchen at no extra charge. I highly recommend the poached eggs on toast. My wife, who has celiac disease, had no problem finding gluten-free options. One morning, the server even brought her a basket of gluten-free goodies. One server worked the dining room each morning. The servers tend to get pounced upon by other diners whenever they emerge from the kitchen, but we never had to wait long for anything. We left a €5 tip on the table every morning, but I didn't see anyone else doing it. We also tipped housekeeping and the valets who brought our luggage up when we checked in and brought it back down when we left. I think you'll find it quite useful to get a handful of €5 bills at the beginning of your stay. Change €100 at the bank or airport, get it in fives, and you should be good to go unless you're staying for a long time. Before our stay, I read reviews that suggested you could go days at the hotel without seeing any other guests. I did not find that to be the case. There were usually at least a couple of parties at breakfast, and we'd see people in the sitting rooms and in the garden, but it never felt crowded. The location of Villa Spalletti Trivelli is ideal. There's a tranquil park across the street, and a 5-minute walk downhill puts you in the heart of the Monte neighborhood with all its restaurants and shops. We walked to the Colosseum, the Pantheon, Piazza Navona, the Spanish Steps. In fact, the only place we didn't walk to was the Vatican. Termini train station is about 1 kilometer away, although I wouldn't walk it, especially at night. Bear in mind, Rome is a city of hills and narrow streets crowded with people and scooters and cars that pass within feet of you. So getting anywhere takes more time and energy than you might expect. Things that look very close on the map often take some work to get to. Case in point, the Trevi Fountain. It's very close to the villa on the map, but you have to go up to the top of Quirinal Hill, cross a broad plaza, and then go down a steep hill to get to it. There are several mini markets in the neighborhood. The Pam Market off Via Nazionale is probably the best one that's close by. As for restaurants, there are lots of places in Monte and along Via Cavour, the road that leads to the Colosseum. For classic Italian food, I recommend Ristorante La Nuova Pizzetta. Very friendly host, terrific pasta. For gelato, sample from the vast selection at Il Gelatone Roma, just down the street. The Annex apartments at Villa Spalletti Trivelli offer the best of both the hotel and Airbnb worlds. You get a spacious apartment with a full kitchen, coupled with the amenities of a high-end hotel. It's truly a peaceful oasis in the middle of a busy, noisy city, a fact that really hit home for us when we returned from a day at the Vatican, where we were swept along in a sea of humanity for hours. Back in the hotel lobby, we ordered a couple of glasses of wine from the villa's own vineyards, located to the north in Umbria. The server brought the wine out to us in the garden with some snacks. Sitting there, listening to the birds and the bubbling fountains, enjoying some terrific wine, we realized we had picked the perfect spot for our first trip to Rome. The one drawback to Villa Spalletti Trivelli is that it tends to get booked up months in advance, especially during the stretch from March to October. so you really have to plan ahead. Just keep in mind the deposit due at the time of booking is refundable up to 15 days before your stay. I highly recommend the Annex Apartments at Villa Spalletti Trivelli. The setting, level of service, and the amount of space you get, all for less than $1,000 a night, make for a truly memorable and matchless experience. Thanks for watching. Ciao.